All right, here we are out here, day 2 of our buckshot test video. It is in the low 20s. The wind is gusting about 20 miles an hour. That puts the wind chill here a little below 0. Or if you're in somewhere that is in Celsius, I feel like that's negative 10 degrees Celsius. We are gonna do the Winchester number 4 buck 27 pellet at our right hand gourd. We are gonna do a second shot with the Federal Force ×2 double-aught buck 9 pellet at our left hand gourd. Let's see how these gourds fare in the weather today. At 7 yards, our gourd targets were both annihilated. Here is our gourd from the 27 pellets of number 4 buckshot. That's pretty well turned into spaghetti squash. Now here is our gourd from our number 9, our double-aught buck 9 pellet. Similarly turned into spaghetti. Maybe not quite as much damage. Now let's repeat with our mini shells. All right, and now our mini shells. All right, the left-hand gourd, which was also shot with number 4 buckshot, sliced in half, pretty decent damage. Here's the other half. And here's our first shot at it. Here's our first shot at one of the gourds. Similarly, the top was taken right off, though not quite as impressive as our 2 3/4 inch shells. Okay. And now let's do a 15-yard test. For this test, we are just gonna do the double-aught buck and a mini shell. The double-aught buck Force ×2, I will do at our right-hand gourd with the first shot. Seems like I only hit it with 1 pellet. Okay, let's see how the mini shell does at our left-hand spaghetti squash. Let me do one more. All right, we are gonna take one more shot at our gourds. Since it looks like I only hit each one with 1 pellet, and I might have been aiming a little high, maybe hoping that it would warm up the weather today. Again, starting with our double-aught buck at our right-hand gourd. Okay, I think that took the top off it. Though, it's kind of like that scene from Ghostbusters, and the flowers are still standing. Okay, left-hand spaghetti squash, mini shell, take 2. Here we go. Good. Okay, with our squash set up at 15 yards, I basically just took some slices out of it, though not enough of an impact even to knock the squash off our box. Similarly, if we look at our gourd here with the number double op buck, we took the top off, we took a slice off the side, but not enough of an impact to even knock it off the box. Interesting. A couple notes before we dig into today's conclusion. Initially, we had planned on shooting a few water jugs in addition to the gourds today, though the weather did not cooperate and allow that to happen. The second note is, in our first video, while we did the shots at 7 yards, 20 yards, and 50 yards, after examining the patterning of the ammo, we decided for the 2 tests today to do the 7-yard test and then a 15-yard test. We figured at 20 yards and 50 yards, the spread from most of the ammo was such that if we even hit the gourds, it would have probably been mostly luck and maybe 1 pellet. As far as our results today, I would say with all 3 of our ammunitions, at our 7-yard distance, the ammunition performed at least okay. With our Winchester Super X number 4 Buckshot 27 pellet, I would say we probably did the most damage with that single shot today, and it appeared as though of the pellets, it put the most pellets on the gourd, which translated to the most damage. Not far behind was the damage of our Federal Force x2 double op buck 9 pellet, which did almost as good, I would say almost nigh indistinguishable damage to the Winchester Super X gourd, but it was distinguishable. And rounding out that test at 7 yards was our Federal Shorty shot shell number 4 Buckshot 15 pellet, and while it did pretty good, shot 1 gourd in half, and on a second gourd took the top off. In both cases, it didn't look like that damage was quite as devastating as with our 2 3/4 inch shells. Moving out to 15 yards, we did not do the Winchester Super X because the spread seemed like it would have been a lucky hit. And with our other 2 ammos, it seems like that was also the case. It took multiple shots to get even a few pellets of hits on our gourds. Now we did put a fairly decent hit on our first shot with our Federal Force x2 double op buck, though that was 1 pellet a little on the left of our gourd. Our Federal Shorty at 15 yards, I took 3 shots and there was maybe 3 small slivers of flesh removed from the gourd, and on multiple shots, that gourd didn't even leave the top of the box. Again, like from Ghostbusters, it was a "and the flowers are still standing" moment. The results we achieved today with my Maverick 88 security shotgun and its open cylinder bore, at least to me, say that all 3 of these ammos would be very good for home defense inside 10 yards, though beyond that, your accuracy really starts to come into play, along with a little bit of luck, more so as your distance increases. Another takeaway from today's video, I would say, is sort of in fitting with some of our internet Mythbusters type videos. You may have noticed that for all of the shots that we took at our gourds today, while many of them impacted the gourds, we didn't put a single pellet on the boxes those gourds were set upon, which reinforces the notion that while that pattern spreads out, it's not like it shows in the movies and you can just use your shotgun with complete disregard for accuracy and still hit your target. At least, unless luck is on your side. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Well anyway, that seems like the perfect spot to end today's video. If you enjoyed today's presentation, like the video, share it with your friends and family. Those things help the channel greatly. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good night.